In this more refined Nezha build I will be going over what I consider to be an all-around build to make the most out of each ability, but most of all making sure his warding halo absorbs a lot of damage and his blazing chakram causes enemies to be dealt a lot of extra damage. The only thing that you could replace in this build is Umbral Intensify in favor of the normal version, as this requires you to have Excalibur Umbra. Mine only adds 6% more strength anyways. You have good duration, good efficiency, good range, and great strength all in one neat package. Enemies hit by Blazing Chakram will be dealt 208% more damage from all sources, and your warding halo will be able to amplify absorbed damage by more than 500%, making him fairly tanky. His good range also works well with his Divine Spears which don't do a lot of damage, but now synergize very well with his Chakram. His first ability is the least useful in terms of damage, however you can use it with his Chakram to create rings of fire when you teleport with it active as you will see me do shortly. Your main focus is to rush enemies with your warding halo ability ready, absorb lots of damage, then quickly cast your fourth ability to ragdoll and impale enemies to stop them from firing at you, then cast your Chakram at one of them. When hitting enemies held up by the spears it will create another Chakram that also bounces between enemies, hitting lots if not most of them before returning. This marks all these enemies for the bonus damage, health orb on death, and even better an energy orb chance on death. To take advantage of the bonus damage these enemies will take I recommend something that hits multiple enemies at once such as the Amprex, an explosive weapon like the Penta, or a melee weapon with lots of range. Enemies will be held up in the spears for a good amount of time leaving you plenty of time to kill them to collect your health and energy orbs to cast it again when it ends. One thing to note about Divine Spears is the second portion of damage now only applies if you cast it again, and this damage is increased if they are affected by the Blazing Chakram. This damage is still not really worth it and enemies are more useful held up in the spears anyways, acting as objects to spawn more chakrams and spread the bonus damage. This build combines good damage, crowd control, and survivability, and I recommend trying it out yourself to see if you can improve it to fit your own playstyle, perhaps to see if his rework is enough for you to use him now.